Alrighty, welcome back to the Final Fantasy VII Enemy Trivia Challenge. So happy to have everyone here on Twitch and everyone on YouTube. Thank you so much for the support for this series. It's been incredible and probably one of the most fun challenges we've ever done. I do have some updates from last week. Let me quickly do this, because if I don't have this open, then the music stops playing when I click off the game, and it's eerily silent. There we go. So, a couple updates from last week. I forgot to show Guy Spector's concept art. Surprisingly, Guy Spector has concept art. I mean, maybe not that surprising, but since he's like also kind of a lore character, but there he is. He has like, his face is weird. Yeah, like, I don't know if he's supposed to have like a ghostly face or something. What is he? Actually look at his real model. What does his face actually look like? Out of curiosity. Oh yeah, it is just like a blue... Man, I never really noticed that. I guess because they kind of look away from you, but their face is kind of like a creepy blue void. So pretty dang close to the concept art there. So that's really cool. So I forgot to show that. Also, there was a mistake with the Sahagin enemies. So I had said that the Sahagin enemy has an auto hit feature on punch weapons. So any punch attack has an automatic 100% chance to hit Sahagin. But then I also said that I tested it and Tifa could still miss if she had darkness. So basically, like, the darkness check must be after the auto hit check, so that even if she gets an auto hit, she could then miss because of darkness. That was wrong. Turns out, even with darkness, fury, setting her dexterity to 0, setting her level to 1, anything you could possibly do to make her miss, she will still always hit the Sahagin with punch. The reason I thought it was different is because I didn't realize that Tifa only has 3 punch weapons. Out of all of her weapons, only 3 of them are actually punch element. And Barrett also has 3 punch weapons. And the character that actually has the most punch weapons is Cid. Almost every single one of Cid's weapons are punch. So, you know, my bad for thinking that elements in Final Fantasy VII would make sense, because they never make sense. And I don't know why I ever figured that they will make sense. But yeah, she only has 3 punch weapons. Barrett has 3 punch weapons, and Cid has like 9 different punch weapons. And I was using a weapon that was not punch when I was testing it, because I thought they were all punch, but turns out most of them aren't. So that's how that works. Also, another fun fact, Caesar, the crab enemy that we were talking about because we liked his name, also has the same auto hit trait, which is weird because he shows up in the same formation as the Sahagin in the sewer. So, I mean, I thought it was a Sahagin thing, but then there's another enemy in the sewer that has it. So then I thought maybe it's a sewer thing, but then the desert Sahagin has it. So I don't know. It's really strange. I don't know why specifically those 3 enemies have it. It doesn't affect anything really at all because, like I said before, their dodge chance is really, really low. So I had Red 13, Blind and Fury, Cloud Blind and Fury, and Tifa Blind and Fury with a punch weapon And Tifa always hit, and Cloud and Red 13 missed like 40% of the time, like, or like 60% of the time. Like they hit like 40% of the time still. So it really does not affect the fight at all. But it's just really strange that those 3 specific enemies have that trait. And then one more cool thing that someone mentioned in the comments that I wanted to shout out. So somebody mentioned in the comments that this enemy here, the Golem, if you zoom in on their chest, they actually have a coat of arms looking thing on their chest. And in the game, you can't really see it very well. You can kind of just barely make out that they do have something on their chest. But with the model viewer, we can get up real nice and close. And this is basically what it looks like. And I did a bunch of research on coat of arms, and maybe someone out there knows more about it than I do. But from my limited amount of research, basically the way that coat of arms works is that when a country or a nation or a small group of individuals creates a coat of arms, the rules of which the coat of arms follows is up to the people that create it. So similar to like flags, like if you make a flag and you give it 50 stars and you say this 50 stars represents the 50 states, that doesn't mean that when someone else makes a flag and they put stars on their flag, it now represents states, right? It's specifically whoever creates it creates the rules. So unfortunately, we can't take like other coat of arms and like compare with this one to decipher what it means or anything like that, because they pretty much just make up the rules. There are some like color things where certain colors can mean certain things most of the time. But I mean, it's so vague anyways. It's like red represents power. It's like, okay, cool. So there's really not much we can discern from it, but it's still really cool. And it's pretty detailed. I mean, like they could have just had the colors, but I mean, this has like a armor set, and then this has the 2 vertical lines. And then this one's really strange. Out of all the coat of arms I ever saw, none of them ever looked like this, with like one thick line and then one tiny line. Never saw anything like that. And then just like a blank red square. So pretty interesting stuff. Also, I've never seen a coat of arms have this around. Usually it's animals. Usually there's like a falcon or a lion or something holding up the coat of arms. Instead, this looks like, my interpretation of this is that these are stabs. And they're like summoning magic around. That's my interpretation. But you could decipher it anyway. But that's what I think it is. I think these are like stabs. And then this is like wind power or something. Which doesn't make a lot of sense for the Golem. The Golem is supposed to have that magic and attack thing going on with his AI, where the closer he gets, the more attack he gets, and the further back he gets, the more magic he gets. But he doesn't have any magic anyways. So that, I don't know. It could also be mountains, yeah. Maybe a little too wispy to be mountains, but could be mountains, could be water. So many different things it could be. But yeah, it is very interesting that this is so detailed, though. And this is the only enemy in the game that has something like this. The only thing close to this are the Shinra soldiers with the kanji and like the penguin with the kanji. But nothing like this. Nothing where like there's a whole kind of graphic art is my passion detailing here. So pretty cool stuff. So that's that. Now, on to Rocket Town. I think for the most part, we're just chilling doing Rocket Town stuff here for a bit. Our next objective is actually Wutai if we choose to do it early. Which I think we should. I usually wait to do Wutai until the very last moment. That's just my personal preference. There's really no reason for it. Sometimes there's like a challenge reason why I do Wutai last. But for the most part, it's just what I normally do. However, kind of the spirit of this challenge is to I want to get barrier and exit. And I'd really like to level them up, if possible. I don't need this. Should level that up. Give you elemental lightning just for the fun, and you can get manipulate. Okay. So I feel like the spirit of the challenge is to kind of fight enemies on a somewhat low level so that we can kind of see what they do and stuff and not just blast them in 2 seconds. So in that spirit, I feel like we should do Wu Tai early, because if we do it super late, then everything gets blasted in 2 seconds. And I'm really excited to talk about the pagoda. I think the pagoda is like one of the coolest pieces of trivia that I learned about. And so doing the pagoda without a super leveled up Yuffie would be fun. So I say we do Wu Tai right away, which we can do it as soon as we get the tiny Bronco here. I did some really crazy extensive research on that coat of arms, just trying to find like anything that looked any similar. Welcome to the crew, Bob, Mr. Barker. And the only thing I was able to find was a soccer club. I know everyone would be like, all my UK viewers are like cringing out of their pants, which is why I said it that way. A football club that has a coat of arms that has the same color. I don't really call it coat of arms, I don't think. It's just their logo, but a lot of the football club logos look like coat of arms. They have the shield, you know. Crest, I guess, yeah. But it has the same color coordination. It has the two red squares in the top left and bottom right, and then 2 blue squares in the bottom left, top right. But the rest of it looks completely different. And that was all I could find. Excuse me, Trebek. I'd like to take Potpourri for 500. I'd like to solve the puzzle. Club crest. Who was the first football club to be like, we're important enough to have a coat of arms as our logo? We're going to battle on the field. Oh, yeah? That makes sense. As you can tell, I know next to nothing about football. Why would I? I know how to lose. Being an American, I know how to lose football. To this day, I still love watching those. Extra funny now that I kind of know more about Sean Connery from watching the Bond films. Dude, imagine the World Cup comes to Ohio. Specifically Ohio, not even the U.S. They all come to Ohio for the World Cup. What month does the World Cup usually take place in? The first and last time. June. So there's a small chance it's still snowing. It's happened. Very rare. I think it's only happened like once. But it could happen. If I remember correctly, I think August is the only month that it has not snowed in Ohio. It's either August or July. It is. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's very rare, but it has happened at some point in the history of Ohio. It's really gross out today. It didn't even like snow, but it's just... It snowed the last couple days, and now it's like foggy and misty and cold. I should have rested. Oh well. Who has... Oh, you're good. We're good. All right. It is Palmer time. Our boy Palmer. Okay, so an amazing detail about Palmer that I never knew is that Palmer is actually weak to the sleep element, but immune to the ailment. So first of all, that's funny because it's Palmer. And Palmer is weak against sleep. That's just funny. But you can't put him to sleep. Instead, if you put sleep and added effect on a weapon, you'll do double damage. He still won't fall asleep, but you'll do double damage. I can show that off after this. His Mako gun is actually just the spell it is replicating, but the game prints the Mako gun message instead. So it's kind of weird how it's coded. Usually what they would do is they would create an attack called Mako gun, and the Mako gun attack would just have the same parameters as like Bolt 2. It would have the same animation, same damage, same element, etc. But for whatever reason, the way they did it here instead is he actually uses Bolt 2, but then the game overrides the Bolt 2 text with Mako gun. Maybe because they knew he was going to use multiple versions of the same move, but we've talked about other enemies in the past where they just have multiple moves that have the same name. So they could have just done that here too, but maybe for the sake of simplicity, they just did it that way. But yeah, he's actually just using spells. For some strange reason, the butt slap move that he does checks to see if there are any characters without sadness status. So if your entire party has sadness, he'll never butt slap, which right now we do. So he does that intro one, I think, like the intro laugh, but now he won't do any butt slaps. Which is, well, I don't know why, but I mean, it's actually kind of good balancing, because if everyone has sadness, that means you're taking less damage, so he should waste less time butt slapping, but I don't think that's what they were doing. I think it's just a weird coincidence. Even though Palmer is supposed to be a joke fight, way back in the day in the Final Fantasy VII PC any % route, he was actually the hardest boss in the game, because we used to Yuffie warp from the Nibelheim flashback to Mount Nibel, and then we did the Lucky 7 strat on Materia Keeper, and then we got here and we had like level 14 party members, and he would almost one-shot with every attack. And so it was actually really hard to fight him and kill him fast. You could still, it's not that hard to survive against Palmer because he only has single target attacks, so all you have to do is just heal whoever gets hit. But, you know, you had to poison him, and then in the poison had a % chance to hit, and then constantly heal, so that if he was too much of a jerk, it could end up wasting a bunch of time. And then I also have 2 more interesting things to show, but we'll do it after the fight. And I'll show off the sleep thing as well. So let's see how much damage Red 13 does with the normal attack. Alright, so Red 13 does 373 damage. Remember that. $373 damage with a regular attack. Actually, let's do Death Blow. No. Will Death Blow work? I think it will. It should. Death Blow did 762. So about 300 and about 600 or 700. Yeah, as you can see, no butt slaps. He's all serious. All serious mode. Come on, Red 13. I think Palmer does have pretty high evasion. Because, you know, memes. Man, we can't hit him at all. What is... Holy crap. Hit him with the chocobuckle. Take that. Oh, that's actually doing some okay damage now. That'd be kind of cool if the butt slap gave Fury. Alright, so Red 13 didn't go up a level, so we can just test this without loading. Did you know you can move during this? Also, you can run during this. If you hold run, you move faster. What are we gonna do, Bob? Save us, Bob. Alright. Prepare yourself for the funny. Also, this scene doesn't work right in the PC version. Don't worry about it. Numbskulls. Alright, so let's... I mean, we could just do Wutai right now. I'm right here. Let's show the good stuff. So, first of all, let's get... Oh, the Seraph Comb doesn't have... I just realized the problem. Okay, so let's throw on the diamond pin. And let's start a quick fight with Palmer. And see how much damage we do. Okay, 204. So there's 204. Now we put on sleep and added effect. Do we have added effect? Yeah. And we fight him again. Also, I'm going to do this real quick. But I did? I thought they were in linked slots. 430. So yeah. Double damage just from having sleep added effect. Which is pretty interesting. Let's see if I can hit with the death blow. It's gonna be tough. Can I, like... I'm gonna stop him so I get more chance to hit him. Because Mako Gun takes forever. There it is. 844. Okay. So, now, the good stuff. You know how we've been messing around with, Pandora's box over the course of this and showing off how it gives you a bunch of invisible models. For example, if an enemy has like multiple phases, it might show off the different phases, or Bottom Swell's invisible bubbles, or Rufus's helicopter. Well, Palmer here has by far the best one. And the day we found this was pretty much the greatest day of my life. I'll never forget the day we found this. RJ actually was the one that found this. And then we did it, and we were like, oh my god, but here we go. Enjoy the incredible Pandora's box on Palmer. Your life is about to be changed forever. Because Palmer is actually a truck. Yeah. He becomes the truck. Look at him. It's incredible. You would think that it would be like flip the other way too, but nope. He just becomes the truck. Incredible. Okay, one more thing that I thought was cool. I'll just load my save, maybe. So I don't have to throw away stuff, but I do need this. Okay. So this is pretty funny. I never knew about this because you don't normally have Neo Bahamut for this fight. But if you use Neo Bahamut in this fight, the plane comes with. The plane goes with them. Just barely. It's just barely hanging on there. Beautiful. All right. Beautiful. What a beautiful fight. I always love showing off the truck. The truck is incredible. All right. On to Wutai, and I'm really excited for Wutai. Some really fun stuff in Wutai, and I think the pagoda is probably my favorite. One of my favorite parts, I think. I guess it doesn't really matter, because we're about to get our materia taken anyways. Do I have a tent? So these guys are actually, do we have to talk about these guys? It's a good question. These guys are attack squad. Have we talked about attack squad yet? I don't remember. There's so many different Shinra enemies. I think we did. Pretty sure we talked about attack squad already. Although, my sheet here says that we haven't. Oh, we haven't. No, we haven't talked about attack squad. Where is attack squad in my... Oh, there they are. Okay. Got it. They're also kicking my butt. Okay, so attack squad. Attack squad counters the last attack with smoke bullet, which blinds and sleeps, if the attack left them with equal or less than 2/3 of their HP. They can still use smoke bullet on a regular turn 1/3 of the time. And the attack squad fight during the Coral Train mission doesn't have the no preemptive flag, so it can be a preemptive fight, which is extra funny because, like, the whole scene is him finding you, and then you get a preemptive on him. And that one's weird because normally the way that the whole preemptive thing works is if a boss ends up on a screen where you can normally get random encounters, then a lot of times you can back attack them because they're not coded to not give a preemptive. But there's no random encounters on that spot where that guy is. So they must have just totally goofed the coding there. Nice, we got Clim Hazard. What do you have, Barrett? Could give you the drill arm for fun. Can we give you this, though? And a gold armlet. I'll give you the gold armlet. And since we did this really early, we got all of our materia stolen. For those of you that don't know, Yuffie steals 48 pieces of materia. She can only steal up to 48. So if you have more than 48, you'll actually get left with some materia. And the way it works is it's a priority system. There's a whole list that it goes through. So it starts with strong stuff like summons and enemy skill and stuff. And then it'll leave you with like fire, ice, restore. Why'd I run from that? We have to fight that. I'm like challenge brained of just immediately running from stuff. Also, I guess it kind of counts as enemy trivia. I don't know if it's true for this bridge, but the bridge over there you can't get random encounters on. Probably can't on this bridge either. I believe it's because of this animation of it swaying back and forth. Alright, this will be fun. Enemy trivia with no materia. Alright, we got Thunderbird. Stop it. So, Thunderbird has a really big item table. They have bolt plumes to steal, bolt plumes to drop, high potions to drop, echo screens to drop, and swift bolts to morph. They also have a 1/4 chance to use lightning and a 3/4 chance to use stab. And they also have an unknown variable in their AI that leads to a lightning counterattack. So they can lightning counterattack, but we don't know how or why. I need to put the I need to fix Red 13's weapon. He's doing no damage now. This fight's pretty scary with no materia. Now it got even more scary. Stop it. Okay. We may need to pop into Wutai for some healing. We'll be fine. Oh, never mind. He does have the Seraph Cone. He was just back row. He had long... he had long range materia before. And then when we got our materia stolen, he lost it. But he was still back row. So he was doing, like, no damage. Alright, now we got Tail Vault, who's a pretty cool name. So the original Japanese name for Tail Vault was closer to Tail Leap. And he has a very strange counterattack where if he is attacked 3 times, then he'll counterattack with Somersault against every party member. He also drops Phoenix Downs 100% of the time, which can be really useful for the Wutai side quest. So if you're having trouble with the Wutai side quest, you can come out here and get a bunch of Phoenix Downs. So if I attack him with, like... Well, here, we'll talk about Bizarre Bug first, and then we'll do his counterattack. So Bizarre Bug is a great name. Has no steal and no morph, but they always drop X potions. So, yet again, another great grind for the Wutai side quest. I think they specifically tailored these fights outside of Wutai for the Wutai side quest. So let's kill these guys first. How did you miss? Not the goofy powder. Okay, so attack him once. Attack him twice. Attack him 3 times. And now he'll do a somersault on all 3 party members. Or not. Hello? There it is. Boom. 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 Pretty interesting. I feel like they should have maybe named it something special, like triple somersault or something, so you actually understood what was going on. Another thing that's like kind of neat, but goes completely under the radar. When you play normally, you're never really going to notice it. At least I never did. Okay, we have... Oh, that's it for here. We need to go to the beach. We need to go to the beach for the very special fight. Actually, we need to save him. We need to save him for after Wutai. So instead we'll do the grass, where we have 2 more enemies. Not you. Down by the beach near Wutai. Can't believe so many people still remember that. Just shows the real ones. You guys are the real ones. Alright, there's one. This is Razorweed. So we talked about Razorweed before when we talked about Mandragora and how this guy actually has a Spaz voice attack, which you would imagine the Mandragora should have instead, but instead it's this guy. He also has really high magic defense, but not nearly as much as Mandragora. So, like, these two enemies just are weird. So, the Mandragora doesn't have a voice attack, even though his name is Mandragora. And he also has super mega high magic defense, like as high as Ruby Weapon magic defense. Like you use magic on him, it does like 3 damage type of magic defense. These guys have the Spaz voice attack and also have high magic defense, but not as much as the Mandragora, even though they show up later in the game. And these are the guys that have Magic Hammer. So like, you would think the ones with Magic Hammer would be the ones to have the crazy high magic defense. I don't know. It's weird. Spaz Voice gives Fury and is only used as a counter. And they will always skip their next turn after using Spaz Voice. And also, of course, it can be manipulated to learn Magic Hammer, but we don't have Manipulate because we lost our materia, so we'll have to come back for it. And yeah, I believe if you just attack them constantly, they'll never attack you because they always reply with Spaz Voice, and then they skip their next turn. So if you just keep attacking them, I don't think they ever hit you. That's what I swing. Alright. And we still have one more enemy before going into Wutai.